Hi guys, my name is Yeva and today we're going to be talking about 10 micro habits that you can do to increase your feminine energy on a daily basis. I'm so happy to have you on here today. My name is Yeva and I'm a mindset coach for women. Without further ado, let's jump into the 10 tips. So tip number 1 would be to do a micro dress up on a daily basis if possible. So let me explain. It's really important that in order for you to feel feminine, obviously it comes from the inside, and you can have a look at the video I'm going to link above to find out more on how to be feminine from the inside. But it's also important to feel feminine from the outside. And a micro dress up is simply meant by if you get up in the morning and you're working from home, or maybe you're not working right now, or maybe you are working, to simply get ready for the day, or even on the weekends if you're at home. Get ready for the day by essentially taking care of what you look like, because it will increase your confidence. Now, you don't have to go overboard and really dress up, but getting out of your pajamas, getting out of those old sweats or anything like that, and trying to be dressed in a way that's going to make you feel a little bit better. You don't have to put on makeup, but taking care of the way that you present yourself is actually going to make a big difference, because whether you want to or not, it is going to increase your confidence level and how you feel about yourself on a day-to-day basis. And now this might be way harder to do for women who are pregnant or just, for example, had a baby. So don't go overboard, but try to do your best, because it will make you feel better. Like if you get up in the morning and you don't take care of yourself and you go about your day and you haven't brushed your hair, you haven't put on any new clothes or clean clothes or anything, you're not going to feel good about yourself, right? It's going to annoy you. Essentially, for most women, it does. So getting yourself ready for the day, even if you might be staying at home, will make you feel much, much better about yourself and gives off a feminine vibe. The second tip is don't be shy to ask for help. Trying to figure everything out on your own is quite the masculine trait, okay? Not asking for help, trying to push through, trying to figure out everything for yourself is a very go-getter mentality. It's quite masculine. Asking for help, whether it's with work, whether it's in a supermarket, whatever it might be, is a feminine trait. Never be ashamed to ask for help, okay? And if you're someone who's not asking for help but wants to do everything by themselves, you're gonna have it harder. And it's going to drain you and take away energy that you can invest in something else. So totally be okay and don't be ashamed of asking for help if you do need help. The third tip is look at people in the eyes when you're speaking to them. This makes a massive difference and shows a lot of confidence from the woman's perspective. If someone is talking to you, don't be looking at your phone. Look at them in the eyes. If you're talking to someone, look at them in the eyes and build eye contact, whether that's a man or a woman. It really, truly doesn't matter. But eye contact will show confidence, and confidence is always a great trait. You don't have to overdo it. You don't have to stare at them, but looking them in the eyes and actually listening to what they have to say is a confident trait. Looking down when people are talking to you or when you're talking to people and just not looking at them is gonna make you seem very shy. And confidence is beautiful when it comes down to women. So really ask yourself, are you looking people in the eyes when they're speaking to you or when you're speaking to them? It's very feminine to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. And it's not something that a lot of men do because it's not masculine. And enjoying the simple pleasures of life is getting flowers, for example, um, doing something nice for yourself, enjoying the little moments of life, right? Going for walks, not listening to podcasts when you're doing so. Instead, looking around, looking at the trees, looking at the nature, kind of sucking in the present moment. These things are the little pleasures of life. Or, smelling a perfume, wearing a perfume. These are the little pleasures of life. And they're very feminine traits because they're the little details in life, right? So, getting flowers, getting a nice massage, doing a nice bubble bath for yourself, wearing perfume, putting yourself together. These are those little pleasures. And that is definitely something that makes up being feminine, right? It's not necessarily about being productive all the time and doing things that are only logical and rational. That's very masculine behavior. The feminine has a lot to do with pleasure, which is basically the opposite of the masculine. So enjoying the pleasures of life, reading books just for entertainment. They don't have to be educational books. As I mentioned, going to a cafe with a friend, or going for short walks, or getting some flowers, or maybe redecorating a little bit, even though it is not necessary. Buying something small for yourself, treating yourself to something nice, a massage, a facial, whatever it might be. The small pleasures in life make up femininity, and they bring a lot of joy into a woman's life, or to a woman's life who wants to be feminine. You will notice a huge difference, and it does add up to your happiness. Okay, so enjoying the smaller pleasures in life really does make a difference, and ask yourself if you're doing that, and if you're not, then start implementing that. Tip number 5 is to slow down and not be in your masculine so much. So the masculine has a lot to do with being productive, being on the go, getting things done, and potentially having a lot of stress, etc. The feminine is about slowing down, taking steps, doing things step by step, and not being in a rush all the time. Simply because men are more capable of being stressed out because they have higher testosterone levels. They're capable of dealing with stress simply better than women because of genetics, because of their higher testosterone levels. And with women, they can stress themselves out quicker. And the feminine has everything to do with slowing down, not letting yourself be so stressed, taking your time. And that might be difficult for some women because they might feel that they're not being productive, but actually they are regulating their nervous system by not being on the go all the time. If you're on the go all the time, your nervous system is going to be on a high. It's going to be really difficult for you to, cool down, and to be in the feminine is going to be difficult. And when you're not in your natural feminine, a lot of fights arise with other people because you're always on the go. You're always stressing. So ask yourself, are you on the go all the time? Are you running around all the time? And if you are, then see if you can rechange your schedule so that you have more time to relax and to cool down. You don't have to be on the go all the time. Sometimes in life we do, but it should not be the state that we're in constantly. And slowing down and not being in that go, go, go mentality is very feminine. The 6th tip is to try not to micromanage everything. Being feminine has a lot to do with trusting other people, asking other people for help, Obviously giving people trust and then seeing what they're going to do with it. Okay. Trusting that other people will get the job done. If they don't get the job done, then you can ask someone else or you can do it yourself. But micromanaging other people, asking them, did you do this? Did you do that? Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to do that, is over controlling. And it's very controlling behavior. And that controlling behavior is very masculine behavior and is not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to make you a control freak. It's only going to make you seem like a control freak. So, stop micromanaging people. If you're micromanaging people at work because you don't trust them, ask yourself, can you stop doing that? If you're doing that in your relationship, you have to definitely stop doing that. If you're doing it with your kids, anyone else, etc., at some point people are going to be just used to you ending up doing all of the work. So give people more trust and step back when it comes down to controlling others, which is essentially micromanaging. Feminine women do not micromanage. They ask someone to do something, they should do it. If they don't do it, they get someone else to do it, or they tell them that they're disappointed in them that they didn't do it, as an example. But you don't micromanage every step because that is just controlling. The next tip is to keep your space clean as best as you can. The reason for this is energy flows, right? And energy can get stagnant. It can get built up in your house. It can bring your mood down, right? So if you can and if you're capable, make sure the space that you are in, whether that's your house, for example, or wherever you live, or your room, that it is clean and managed, right? You don't have to overdo it, but it should not be cluttered, because if you live in a cluttered space and it is messy, your mind is not going to be able to function the way that it should be functioning. The energy that we surround ourselves with in our house, in our apartments, in our rooms, has a lot to do with the way that we're feeling. And you're always going to feel better if you are in a clean area, and it's going to give you new energy. Like, what's the feeling after you clean your house? You feel amazing. The smell, that cleanliness smell, all the clothes you put away, the floor's clean, everything's clean. You feel better, right? You can think clearer. You feel like you've just done a good task. And that will invite new productive energy into your life. You're going to feel better. It is a feminine trait to, be creative, have a clean space. It's not even just feminine, it's masculine as well. Everybody should try their best to have a clean space, to be organized, to take the time out of their week or month or whatever to do that, because it has a lot to do with your mental health. And if you have a clean space and a clean area, you're most likely going to seem the same way. Just like I mentioned in the very first tip, micro dress up and having a clean space, it kind of adds up, and it's really good for your mental health. You're not going to feel cluttered. You're not going to feel like you're not in control. You're going to feel much better about yourself as a woman and in your life and etc. So try your best to have a clean space. Tip number 8, and I think this is going to resonate with a lot of people, don't shame yourself for resting. A lot of people feel like they need to be on the go all the time and that they need to be super productive all of the time. That is not the case. The society we live in basically invented that. Essentially, you have to be good with your money and be happy with what you do. It's not down to being productive all of the time, because a lot of the time you'll give yourself a burnout, and no one wants that. I'm not saying you shouldn't reach your goals. I'm just saying your mental health is the most important part of you, right? It's really important that you keep that intact all the time. So Do not ever shame yourself for resting. And I feel like a lot of the time women shame women for, not building a family at a certain age, not building a career at a certain age, may call other women lazy or stuff like that. But that should not be the case. And if you feel like you need to rest, you have to rest, because if your body's telling you to rest, it's telling it to you for a reason, right? And it's really important that you listen to that, because if you don't rest, that can lead to other problems. And resting is very productive. Resting is productive. We all need rest. If you don't charge your batteries, you're not going to be able to function. And at some point, you're going to have a burnout. So if you feel like you need to rest, or just have a rest day, or just relax to a certain degree, or do something that relaxes you, you have to not ignore that. Your body is sending you a signal for a reason. And as I mentioned, how men deal with stress and how women deal with stress is genetically different. So if you as a woman feel like you need to rest, you rest. End of story. And I don't care what anyone says. Obviously, it's a feminine trait, and you should be listening to it. And if someone's going to shame you about it, then you can put them back in their place, but still rest. Number 9 is to be creative and explore yourself through your interests. Get to know yourself again and remind yourself of the things that you enjoy doing. So a lot of the time when we get older and grow up and stuff, or just get really busy with life, we forget what we used to enjoy doing when we were teenagers or children. If you enjoyed painting, if you enjoyed reading, if you, enjoyed doing something creative, find that creativity again in your adulthood. And being creative is definitely a feminine trait. It's a pleasure to draw. It's creative. It brings new energy. It releases the old. So being creative with yourself, trying out new things, or reminding yourself of the interests that you used to have in your teenage years, for example, and doing those things again is definitely going to start bringing you joy. Or you can start doing new things, right? Being feminine is about being creative, listening to your intuition, not ignoring it, going for it, trying out new things, slowing down, enjoying the pleasures of creativity and of life. That's what it's about, right? So don't shy away from having a hobby. And if you are stressed out in your life because you're on the go a lot, or if you just seem bored in life, doing less of what stresses you out and more of the things that bring you joy is going to bring a lot of balance into your life. And when you are balanced, everything else falls into place much easier. My 10th tip, and this is just really a small tip, but I feel like it's such a feminine thing, essentially, at least it is for me, and it is smelling good. So this is again like one of those small pleasures. Smelling good and wearing a perfume that you really enjoy wearing really, really does make a difference. And I personally don't use perfume every day, but because I work from home and stuff, but I truly do feel like I'm gonna start doing that, because I feel like it makes a very big difference mentally in a way. And comment down below if you feel the same way. But I feel like perfume brings so much sensuality and so much femininity, and is definitely like a pleasure. And I just feel it boosts confidence as well. And I think it probably has to do something with the mental state, the smell. So it's definitely, it has a lot of pluses to it. So wearing a scent that you enjoy, that makes you feel feminine, that makes you feel confident and good about yourself is always a plus point. It's always going to be good. It's always going to be a positive micro tip. So yeah, that's about it. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by subscribing to my YouTube channel, commenting down below. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, you can do that by going to or by searching Your Mind is Heaven. That's my Instagram name. You can find it down below in the description section. If you want to book a one-on-one mindset coaching with me, I offer a bunch of different packages. You can have a look at that on my website. You can find that down below in the description section also. And if you like listening to podcasts, you can definitely have a listen to mine. It's called Talks with Yeva Podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can find that down below in the description section also. If you haven't already, then make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, let me know what you think by commenting down below, and I cannot wait to speak to you next time. Take care until then. Bye.